Hello and a particularly warm welcome back to the channel. It's a while since I've done a workshop update video, so that's why I'm sitting this side of the camera to introduce this short film. I've selected some items which are on my little workbench and we're going to take a look at them in a minute when I pick the camera up. I need some help, and not the type most people suggest. I need some help choosing a Loco body to refinish. I've got my compressor down here, my spray booth is nearly finished. In fact, I'm fairly confident I'll be able to show you that next week. So it'd be great if we could pick out a Loco body that I'm definitely going to work on first, and I can pluck up the courage to have a really good go at making it look presentable. In a minute, I'm going to pick the camera up, show you a few items around this workshop. I've got a couple of interesting clocks I've been working on. I've got something I've been building that might help me do some different things on the channel. And most importantly, I've got some Triang items. So let's get started. Okay, well, I'm this side of the camera now, and we've got some Loco bodies to have a quick look at. Now, before we look at those, I've got this device here. You can see what it is by the mark on the back. Well, that was a broken item. My stepdaughter had smashed the rear camera. And I had a bit of a fiddle, got a second-hand camera off eBay, and I have made quite a few videos with that telephone now, and the camera quality is quite good. In fact, you'll probably think that I've gone back a step using my old camera, but for convenience today it is the old camera I'm using. So we have seen a few of these Loco bodies before. I'm quickly going to go over them with you. This Battle of Britain class, it's in a sorry state, but I cleaned the paint off with brake fluid and it worked quite well. So that's a contender to be refinished. I'm a bit worried about the damage that someone's done gluing nameplates on. I've got some model filler, hopefully to help make that damage disappear. We'll see how I get on with it. I've never used it before. I'm sure there's other ones available, but that's the one I'm going to try first. So there's the Battle of Britain class. Now this one we have seen before. It's the Princess Royal. See, it's looking very sad. It's just gone all white. I've tried to clean it off, but this is the result of some foam just disintegrating on it, and then I tried to wash it in just mild soapy water, and that's the result. So they're the ones that really got me thinking about refinishing Locos. But I have some other alternatives. Now this is a batch of 4 bodies I got from the Leicester train show. 2 R59s, a green one and a black one. You know, lots of chips and the decals are all off. But maybe I could do something with those. There's a Britannia there, just a little bit of damage to the back of the cab, and a totally de-chimneyed Princess, so I think I'd probably need to be a bit more advanced to have a go at that. But anyway, it's something to think about. Here's a heavy Hornby 00 item. Maybe I could have a go at that. Another Hornby 00 item. You can see it was green. Someone's given it a paint up, but that could be stripped. Something could happen to it. And then one of my favourite Locos. Look at that, bit dusty. Class 31. What could I do with that? So anyway, I'll welcome your comments about which one I really ought to have a go at first. Let's see what you say. And just look at that surface primer. I've heard that's really good stuff to get an initial, you know, sort of a key coat, initial coat onto the body shells. So I'll give that a try. So what have I got down here? Well, some time ago I got this compressor. It's very quiet. I have used it just once in which of these? Well, it came with 2 spray guns. I'm sorry there's glare on these. I'm not too sure about the quality of those, but this one, let me see if I can take the top off. This spray gun I have used. I've used it to spray clock hands and various other items, and it seems to be really good. Look, who remembers one of these? The all-purpose airbrush. Still got it? Maybe we'll give that a go. But I've got a really long compressor line, and next week, if I can show you the spray booth I've been making, then hopefully you'll see how I'm going to do this job indoors without stinking the whole house out. But anyway, that's the kit I've gathered together. Now look, I just picked this up from a local supermarket the other day. Lots of sanding items. Hopefully they might be helpful. I've got some very fine wet and dry in the other workshop, but I'm a bit unsure how to sand some of these imperfections. So if you've got any tips, I mean, I don't want to be getting rid of rivet detail. I need really very fine sanding items. So whether I've got to glue little bits of sandpaper to the end of cotton buds or make a very small, I don't know, what's the best way of sanding damage like that? If you know, I'd love to hear from you. But anyway, it's going to be a learning curve, so the bodies were in terrible condition initially, so I don't want to make them worse. But yeah, this polystyrene cement I think they used on it, it's really eaten in to that plastic. Okay, well that's the sort of refinishing items. There's a few Locos over there that are receiving attention, a couple of rockets, drivers still on parade on one of them, Polly's over there, Dock Shunter and a couple of other bogies. So plenty of items. A set of points. Now these are some of the last items I nickel plated before my plant broke down. Got so much trouble with the nickel plating plant at the moment. Look at this, the power supply has gone wrong again. I've got the top off. Probably needs that MOSFET changing. I've tested the transformer, that's fine. So no nickel plating at the moment. Some of you sometimes ask what clocks I've been mending. Let's have a look over here. How about that? That's a Jaeger Atmos clock. Just finished cleaning the case now. The movement's been totally taken apart. All the jewels checked and cleaned. All the pivots polished. Even the hands are counterbalanced on that. There's so little energy. It winds itself up just by sensing the change in temperature in the room. There's a sealed container at the back. Is it ethyl chloride? I might be wrong there, but you could check Wikipedia. But that just expands and contracts enough to wind up. If you look in there, I don't know whether you'll be able to see, but there's a chain and a mainspring in that barrel, and it just moves in and out, and through ratchets it winds up the main spring. A torsion pendulum, rather like the old anniversary clocks, and once they're set up, in theory that will run for years, as long as you're not in a room that doesn't stay at the same temperature. It needs a couple of degrees difference. And what's the final thing I think I'll show you in this short video? Well, I don't know whether any of you have got children or stepchildren like me, but they've always been interested in building computers, but a bit like mobile phones, they go out of date, so they upgrade them. So I've been up in the roof. I found RAM, I found, there we are, a video, a display board. That's quite a good one actually. I found a couple of processors, motherboard. I've spent no money on this, and I've got this monitor on here. I don't know whether you can tell, but that's now running Windows 11, which is newer than my main computer. That motherboard is 2015, but it does have a TPM chip. There's no cheating to get Windows 11 running. The only cheating is just to put one line in the registry to bypass the processor check, because it's a nice i7 processor in there, but 5th generation I believe, and not on the approved list, but it runs well. And I have tried rendering. Gets a bit too hot with this stock fan. I'm sure I saw a couple of other heat sinks and fans up in the roof, so I need to go and get those down, but it renders my videos really quickly. And the reason I've built it is because I'm hoping to use it to live stream, so we can have a bit of fun on the channel, perhaps doing a live stream. So all things to happen after Christmas, but the first thing I want to get on with is this Loco refinishing, and I know I've been putting it off a bit, so I need to get one underway, and these are the choices. Anyway, I do appreciate you taking a look at the workshop video. There were some other bits I was going to show you, but I just think time's getting on a bit now. Some Super 4 diamonds. I mean, you can never have too many spare diamonds. This one hasn't got a box, but it's in nice condition. I don't think I shall nickel plate that one, just clean it up. But they're really useful items to have. And one other item that I'd quickly like to show you. Let me just put this down here. When I get the layout finished with the hump shunting yard, there's a couple, I did show the fog signal the other day, there's a couple of other operating accessories I want to get, and this side tipping wagon looks really good. You can see it's a little bit grubby, lots to clean up, but there's some instructions in there and a load, and more important than anything, there's this really nice wagon. Let me just see if I can get that into view. Beautiful item that is. So we'll take a closer look at that in another video. But for now I think I've got quite a bit to keep me busy. I do need to finish the spray booth. I'm not far away with that. Hopefully I can show you that next week, and maybe even have a demonstration of some of this spraying equipment, because I want to get on with these body shells and see if I can make them look anything like. Well, I'll look forward to hearing which one you think I should do first. I have an idea it'll be possibly this one or this one. Both of them seem to frighten me quite a bit. I'm a little bit unsure how to tackle them. But anyway, I do need to get on with this job, and I think with a bit of encouragement I should be able to make some progress. Okay, well, there'll be another video next week, hopefully updating a little bit of spray booth development. But until then, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, and for now I'll say goodbye.